Hey guys, it's Uncle Stitch. I will do my best to put this up on Facebook, but the problem is when I go live on Facebook, it shows up. I downloaded it, I put it on YouTube, and it shows up as a little tiny square in the middle of a screen, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm making this one specifically for YouTube, and I will try to put it up on Facebook, but when the videos are longer, it doesn't appear. So, essentially what I wanted to talk about today is kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people. And if it gets to the point where you don't want to hear it, go ahead and punch out. So I've never really gone over with anybody, not even including my own parents, my relationship with God. And specifically, Jesus Christ. I opened up a prayer. I admitted that I was a sinner and that I couldn't do it without him, and asked him into my heart to save me. Now, as time grew on, I grew apart. I was doing a lot of really bad fucking shit. I fell away from the word, I fell away from church, because I felt like every church I was going to was all about money and didn't give a shit about me. And in a lot of the cases, I was actually right about that. But it was immediately evident within the first visit or two what that church was about. So basically, I guess what I'll do is I'll just kind of go over recent events, recent things that have happened. So my AC went out 2 weeks ago, right? And while it was out, it took 2 weeks to replace. It's when you go on Google, it says it's 102 in Phoenix. It's not 102. The equipment that's measuring the degrees is in a garage. So it's not calculating how much heat is radiating off the black asphalt. So when it says it's 102, it's 115. When it says it's 110, it's 135. When it says it's 125, it's 180. That's how it is. Street signs start melting. There's all these catastrophic problems, fucking cars catching on fire. Just, it gets obnoxious. So, hell of a time for an AC to go out, right? And it always happens during summertime. So, being the least of my problems, which is a problem because I've got 2 6mm bulges on my L4 and L5 vertebrae. I have facet and I have a tear in my spine. And the $75 Temu.com air conditioner that they put in there temporarily was only capable of cooling down my bedroom. I don't sleep on a bed, I never have. I've always slept with the lights on a couch, with a shotgun facing the front fucking door. Every night for the last 18 years of my life. Loaded shotgun right at the front fucking door, right? So, anyway, I wasn't exactly living the best life. There were some things that, we'll stick with recent events, all right? So, I get put on call, right? And this is not me complaining, this is me telling you what's going on. So, essentially I get put on call, and I'm getting phone calls every morning at 2:50 in the morning and every night at 10 o'clock at night. And I have to be able to respond to those calls. So it's a gamble whether or not I take my antipsychotics or not, because if I get a call at 10 o'clock at night and I took my pills at 8, I can't drive. It's just not a good idea. So does it make me normal? Yes, it does. Does it make me tired? Absolutely. So I didn't get sleep for 4 days. right? Because if I got a phone call, I had to respond to the call. And well, I lost my $300 Microtech MSI, or I can't remember how much it was. I lost my Microtech MSI. I lost my debit card. I broke my phone, my $1,200 fucking iPhone. I wrecked my truck. The entire time I had to sleep on the floor in the bedroom because the couch is too big to fit in the fucking door. So the entire time I'm in complete agony, the entire time. And I guess what I want to say is one of the worst things that you can do to yourself as a man is ask yourself, why am I unhappy? The reason why that's the worst question to ask yourself is because you will be asking yourself that question for the rest of your life. That question will never go away. You'll never find an answer for it. And it's because we are men. We are not allowed to be happy. There is no happiness. We are born to suffer, to be tortured, to experience pain so that others don't have to. That is why we are here. So, for those of you who don't know, 4 years ago, I almost lost both my legs in an explosion. There was like 200 pieces of shrapnel in my leg. I was in a hospital for a month. My entire left hand was degloved. All the skin was missing off of it. I didn't know if my fingerprints were gonna come back. You know, I look back on that now and I say, my life at that point needed to change. Because the road that I was heading down, the things that I was doing would have killed me. And it took a permanent disfigurement of a wound to make me leave that lifestyle and constantly remind me not to go down that road again. That's what it took. So given the circumstances, losing my debit card, losing my knife, living in excruciating pain, which you would never be able to tell, because the amount of pain that I've been through as they were scraping skin from my body, my pain scale is very different than most people because most people have never experienced that. Most people have no idea what that feels like. And that's okay. They don't have to. What I will say is basically, sometimes pain is self-inflicted. And me being a man, me being who I am, I need to be tortured. I need to feel pain. I need that. I need to suffer. And what I've learned throughout the years with what I'm going through right now, losing my debit card, fucking my truck up, losing my knife, fucking an excruciating amount of pain constantly that just never goes away. Fucking up my cell phone. Right? At this point in my life, most men my age would be opening up a prayer with God right now and asking for mercy, pleading for forgiveness. Lord God, forgive me for my sins. Please, Lord, take me through this storm. Most people, that's the prayer that they've been saying for 60 fucking years. I'm a little bit different because in my situation, we are men. Remember that. We are not allowed to be happy. Women can experience happiness and children can experience happiness. But men, we have to burn. That's what we were built for. That's what we were designed for, so that other people don't have to. That's the society we live in. That's the way things were created. There's no getting out of it. Welcome to hell. I'm not going to enter a prayer and ask God for mercy. I'm not going to enter a prayer and ask God for forgiveness. I'm going to enter a prayer and ask God for a wound so deep I never fucking forget it. The reason why you're not allowed to be happy as a man is because it should bother you that you're unhappy. Does that make sense? And if it bothers you, if it boils you alive that you are unhappy, let that be the motivation to go out and do something about it. That's being a man. That is what we're here for. Some people embrace the pain and other people's run away from it. Don't be the guy that runs away from it. Be the guy that's asking for it. Ask for more. Teach me. Let me suffer. Take me through the torture. Lead me to the gates of hell. Give me a wound so deep that I will never forget it. That's what I'm asking God for. So, in my personal instance, I do want to say this. Look. My suffering is not for anybody else. Nobody ever selected me to be the guy that they wanted to spend their life with so that I could give them the life that they want. So that I could give them a life of peace. So that I could never allow the world to touch them. So that they didn't have to face reality like I do. Nobody ever selected me for that, right? The only thing that I have, the one thing that is allowed to have innate happiness in my life are my birds. I love those birds. Those birds have completely changed my outlook on life. They actually bring me happiness. And I think part of that is because everything is a toy to them. I could literally give them a pop can, which I won't because it's sharp, but I could give them a pop can and they could play with that for days and be totally blown away. That's what I love about them. They're beautiful animals. They're highly captivating. Some people, you know a bird lover when they embrace the chirping, the chatter, because to me, it's like waking up in a tropical paradise every day with these beautiful birds singing a beautiful song. What did that do? Well, that changed my outlook, right? And it might not always be an animal that changes your outlook. This has also changed my outlook. This has given me the ability to experience with clear-headedness, with clarity. And sometimes distractions I don't don't know how to explain this, but essentially distractions will wake me up because this demands my complete attention. And if I don't pay attention to it, the reality is I'm going to split myself wide open. And that gives me clarity. That brings me to a peace and allows me to think. So what's my stance with God? Well, I screwed up. I have made many mistakes in my life. But I was serious when I asked him into my heart to save me. And sometimes it takes a wound so deep that I never forget it to wake me the fuck up and pull me out of what I'm in. But that torture will never go away. That's what happens when you're a man. You have to suffer so that other people don't. And you can either wake up to that, or you can go to bed early every night wondering why your life is a miserable, appalling failure. Wondering why you can't sit around and play video games for 14 hours and work a 2-hour job and pay for your bills. I look at those people who live their life like that, like people that they'll never grow up. And that's why their relationships don't work out, because they still live in a dream world where somebody's coming to save them. Where, oh, well, if I just found the right woman, she'd pay half my bills for me. They tell themselves that, right? We're not allowed to have that. That's not for us. We're designed to be burned alive. And the more you strive for that pain, the more you embrace that pain, the easier life becomes. Once you accept that it is a part of your life to burn alive, then it's not so bad. And it's not so bad at all. That's part of this. And this lesson, what I'm teaching, what I'm talking about, nobody talks about shit like this. This is highly personal stuff. You know what I mean? This is not. There's probably more men out there who don't think like this than who think like this. But you do what you want to with your life. I'm just telling you that we are way out in the middle of the desert by ourselves as men. There's no oasis. There's no trees. There's no water to drink. There is no water. You just have to stand there and burn, because that's what we're designed to do. And you can tell yourself, oh, well, you know, if I fucking go buy a lottery ticket and I win, I could pay off my truck. Well, why is that not working out for you? It's not working out for you because it's not supposed to happen to you. So quit asking for things that aren't supposed to happen to you. Quit opening up prayers with God, asking for mercy. Instead, try asking Him for a wound so deep you never forget it. Try asking Him that. The last time I got a wound so deep, I never forgot it. It completely changed my life. I walked away from everything. Everything I was doing stopped right then and there. That's what it took. Unfortunately, I have to learn the hard way. That's okay. Sometimes I like the hard way. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. You know, let me know what you think. If this moved you, or you know, this was a conversation that you needed to hear, let me know. All right, guys. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. Remember that.